Men of Reddit, what is the creepiest thing a girl has ever said or done to you? For more infotainment, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching. This was when my friends and I are still into the club/live band scene back when we were in college. We went to one bar and have about a couple of rounds of beer, not enough to get us drunk, but we were definitely having a good time that evening. Until two girls introduced themselves to us. One looked okay but the other had a resting bitch face that was pretty to look. My friends were like, alright, cool, two girls making the first move, great, let's see where this goes. The second girl sat beside me and from the get-go was so weird to me. She would place a beer in front of me and would say, chug that. I ignored it every time and she didn't seem to mind, but things like that went on during the night. Almost like orders, she would say, dance with me. Or take a shot. While her friend was conversing away with my other friends. Then out of nowhere, this weird girl, she transformed as if getting possessed and just gave all of us this angry, spiteful look. Her eyes were just full of hate and scratched one of my friends at the neck. To make things short, we noped the hell out of that place so quick, I sobered up instantly. On the drive home my friends and I were just stunned silent. Girl I was dating asked if I had changed the locks since breaking up with my ex months prior. I'm like, no, but she wasn't a crazy person so I never worried about it. She says if I don't change the locks she ain't comfortable sleeping over, so I change the locks. This ex sends me an angry text the next day, so you changed your locks, hey? Real nice. So she had been coming over this whole time and doing who knows what. So edit time, no, the new girl didn't text or know the old girlfriend, I met them both on a dating app in a big city, no connection between them at all. My schedule with work was very set in stone, so she would know when I was at work or not. The girl who suggested I change the locks was super nice and normal, but it didn't work out. She was looking for something more serious and I wasn't ready. And as an update, the creepy ex, it's been years now, is still obsessing and it's stressful, but have tried my best to cut off all contact. As for calling the police, when does that ever go well? Especially in a domestic situation. Thanks to all for the awards and the comments. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised people don't believe this story. Reading other people's stories, mine seems positively dull. I started a new job, and I shared a small office with a woman my age, and a couple other people. She was kinda cute but also weird and super naive. She grew up in a very rural area. She'd flirt with me a lot, but I wasn't interested. So she started sending me emails. They were super long, detailing her whole day. And she sent them to me every day. I never responded. Then one day she sent me this long email confessing her love. I replied with the very obvious reasons why it wouldn't work and asked her to stop sending me emails every day. She didn't. They kept coming. This went on for months. I asked her in person and online to stop, but I still got these email memoirs every day. Eventually I had another female office mate who was her friend have a talk with her. Finally the emails stopped. Bonus, not too long after, I moved very far away, like other side of the world far away. Another office mate sent me an email after I had been there a few months asking me what city I lived in. I told her, and she wrote back that she had heard crazy emailer was moving there to this same small city halfway around the world. That couldn't be a coincidence, right? I asked the office mate for more details, and it got creepier and creepier. She was moving in my neighborhood, she had gotten a job nearby, she was looking for an old friend, etc. It was about a week before the old office mate finally came clean that she was with me. Someone I considered a friend started to grow feelings for me, but when she found out I had a girlfriend and I didn't feel the same for her, she found out who my girlfriend was somehow. She then DM'd her and tried to tell her that I was cheating on her with her and that I am a pedo. The friend was a couple of years younger than us. Luckily I was with her when she got that DM so I could explain the situation and then we blocked her. Next day she DM'd her again from an alt account. I actually lived through something similar, getting a text from a girl I had met on a cruise saying she loved our time together and asking if I preferred her over my girlfriend. I had maybe spoken to her once and always with people around, so obviously nothing had happened. My GF was with me when the messages came through, so it was tough to explain at first cause you can't really prove something isn't true without witnesses. Looking back now, I just wonder why someone would ever actively try to mess someone else's life up for no reason. Stalked me for 5 years after we broke up. Edit 21 hours later, holy crap, this thing blew up. If anyone's still reading, some answers. She kept writing me letters at every address I lived at during that 5-year period. If she didn't have the address, she'd send them care of my parents. The most memorable is the one where she told me she was married and he's a great guy but he's not you. Once, not long after I'd moved to a new address, I came home and found a box of cookies she'd FedExed to me. Eventually I moved to a new state. I knew from her return addresses that she lived and worked there, and was worried we'd run into each other but realized that was pretty unlikely. Then after less than a year, she found me through a blog I was keeping and left a message on my voicemail demanding we meet. I posted a message to her on my blog telling her to stop me or I'd call the police. Up to that point I'd been ignoring her, hoping she'd take the hint. That night she called, I repeated my threat to bring the authorities in, and I haven't heard from her since. Stalked me for 5 years after we broke up. Edit 21 hours later, holy crap, this thing blew up. If anyone's still reading, some answers. She kept writing me letters at every address I lived at during that 5-year period. If she didn't have the address, she'd send them care of my parents. The most memorable is the one where she told me she was married and he's a great guy but he's not you. Once, not long after I'd moved to a new address, I came home and found a box of cookies she'd FedExed to me. Eventually I moved to a new state. I knew from her return addresses that she lived and worked there, and was worried we'd run into each other but realized that was pretty unlikely. Then after less than a year, she found me through a blog I was keeping and left a message on my voicemail demanding we meet. I posted a message to her on my blog telling her to stop me or I'd call the police. Up to that point I'd been ignoring her, hoping she'd take the hint. That night she called, I repeated my threat to bring the authorities in, and I haven't heard from her since. We were at a restaurant with her family one time and I got that spy day sense feeling when a woman is pissed off and not saying why. It eventually came out that she saw me holding hands with the waitress and planning for some quick in the back room. Edit, by popular demand. I want to clarify that she was hallucinating and I never interacted with the waitress beyond ordering food from her. Another time she confessed that she caused a rollover accident before we met in an attempt to kill her family. Another time I was taking a shower and smelled smoke. It was coming from the plastic handle of the butcher knife she had hidden in the bathroom light. I don't know how you convert that to a number. I'm sort of a magnet for crazy girls. Or maybe it's just me, but the craziest thing a girl said to me was, I wish I could lock you in a cage and throw away the key, so no one else can come near you, just me. Sounds fake and insane but is incredibly true, unfortunately. Was with her for about a year and a half. She didn't lock me away, but anytime she found out I spoke to another girl, even if she was a CO worker, she would flip the hell out. She even forgot about the day we first met and proceeded to go mental saying I was talking about another girl, and she then blocked me on everything until she remembered everything again. Took her about an hour, I'd say.